Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to Homemade by Jenny. Today I'll be showing you a fish noodle recipe. So right now I just got here, this is a big halibut, basically a halibut collar, which I'm gonna cut up the meat and fried, and then I'm gonna use the bone to make the fish broth for the fish noodle. So right now I'm just cleaning it with some salt, just so we get rid of any sliminess that's on the fish, and also to clean out the fish nicely. Just here, basically cleaning it to help get rid of any of the smell or the residual scale. There we go. There we go. Okay, and I'm just gonna rinse it off with some cold water. And then to help with get off the excess smell or the fishiness smell of the fish, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my fridge and grab a lime. I'm going to squeeze a juice of a lime onto here to also clean further. So hang on a bit here as I grab my lime. Okay, I just have my lime here, and I'm just gonna slice it up. And all I'm gonna do now is squeeze it. Squeeze the juice. And I'm just gonna clean right here. So squeeze, rub the lime juice all over the fish here. This will help get rid of any the fishy smell as well. Okay. This also helps to get rid of the sliminess if there's any also on the fish. So. There we go. All I'm gonna do. Just gonna rinse it off again with water. I'm gonna put it into my colander here to drain. I'm gonna take it to my island there, and I'm gonna start to slice out the meat that I'm gonna fry, and then the rest of the other bones I'm gonna cut up into smaller pieces so that I can just pan fry quickly to make my broth. There we go. My colander here, and I'm gonna take this whole dish to right here. From there, let me get the neck out. Okay, first things first, I have my tomatoes here, which I have rinsed off, and this is going to be used to cook the broth, so I'm just going to cut it up as well since I already have it here. I can use this tray here. Just gonna pour this water out. These are actually homegrown tomatoes that my mom's friend gave to us. So basically our family friend. And my mom gave me some, so I had to make use of it. And what better way other than to have fish noodle soup, because we got lots of lettuce and everything at home as well, and all the herbs that my mom has been growing. So that's what we're gonna do. Make a fish noodle to use up basically noodles and vegetables and herbs that we have in my mom's garden. So here I'm just slicing up tomato. I've also got some minced shallots that I had from earlier, and I'm gonna use that to stir fry the tomatoes here for the soup. That's going to be added later, just a bit here. So just basically cutting it into wedges. Nothing fancy really. And then this is going to be fried up in a bit. Right now I'm just cutting it into wedges. I'm gonna use the same cutting board. Then I'm just gonna use the same cutting board to fillet my fish. Just wiping it up, wiping my cutting board. And now I can take my fish that I had earlier. I told you. Here we go. I'm gonna start. So I'm gonna try and basically to get as much meat off this as I could. And I can kind of feel it where there is. There's meat here. This is kind of like the bone. So the meat is kind of in here. So this here, I'm gonna just cut it up so that I can fry it. So I'm just gonna cut it up into pieces. I can fry easily, like so. Okay, just gonna grab myself a small dish here. And this I'm just gonna batter up. Part of the fish, and this part here is also quite meaty as well. I'm gonna try to get the meat out necessary. Just gonna chop that up and get my cleaver. There we go. There. That's a piece. There's another piece.
Are you cutting up shrimp?
Okay, this is like the cheek of the halibut there. Just gonna cut that up. Okay, also gonna cut more meat off here, or as much fish as meat as I can here. And then these are basically for frying. I don't have to worry of getting too much meat off because I also have fish cakes that my mom made for us that's going to be added here as well. This is just extra fish meat that maybe if the boys might want, or maybe they don't want to eat. There we go. Basically, that's it. Here's the bone part. I'm just going to cut this off. There. There. This is the fish meat that I was able to get out of the halibut there. Just gonna put it over there to cook. Any of the meat that I could salvage, I would get off. There we go. That should be okay. Now I'm just going to chop off the rest of the fish parts here for cooking. Frying. big piece of meat here as well. This is the other halibut cheek that I managed to salvage here. That's going to be fried. And this part here, I'm just going to chop up.
Mommy, there's a bone in there, I think.
Yeah. There we go. That goes there. Is the halibut collar. There we go. There's another piece. There's a big piece here. Do I feel like chopping it? That's okay. I can probably leave it because I'm just using it for broth. So, but I think I can salvage more meat off just this part here. So I'm just gonna cut off the excess meat that's here for frying. Go. That will be it. That will be the fish I'll be using for frying. And this is the fish I'll be using for the broth. Okay, so let's get this started. How are we gonna do this? First, I'm gonna make the broth and then I'm gonna fry the fish after. So if you follow along, I'll show you how to do it. Just give me a minute to wash off my hands really quick here. Okay, so on the stove here, I got a shallow pot. This is where I'm gonna make the broth because we're only gonna make it for one meal. So got some little oil there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pan fry my fish really quickly. I'll show you. Got my fish here. And all I'm gonna do, come up to temperature and it's going to bring it up to just a tad. And the fish, all I'm going to do is pan fry it, so give it a little bit more temperature here. There we go. That's the sizzle you want to hear when you put it in a pan. Basically all the pieces are going to go in, and I'm just going to pan fry it really quick just to get it some color. And this will add some flavor when you're cooking the broth as well. So there's the big pieces of fish that I'm putting. You want the bones in there because that's what's going to give it flavor. That caramelized bone portion is going to give it lots of flavor. So at this point, I'm just going to sprinkle on some salt and some pepper to this dish. I got some salt here, just a tad. That's the caramelization as well. So with the pepper. There we go. This gets a little bit of color, and then I'm going to flip it over. And you can see a little bit of color there on the fish. And then again, it's just a tad more golden, and then I'm going to flip it right now. see, got color on that one. This one too. I'm just gonna flip to get all 5. This one here. And let's be done as well. Okay, just waiting for it to get some color. And then in the same pan, basically, I'm going to add the shallots and the tomatoes, and then just add water after that to mix the broth. It's sizzling away well nicely. That's getting some nice color on it too, see? There we go. And I'm just going to set one more with a big piece. Okay, it's really got some nice color. I'm just going to move it aside a little. A big piece in the middle. Okay, while that is going, I'm just going to add a tad more oil to this corner here. And here I'm going to be stir-frying the shallots and the tomato. We got a little bit of the shallots here. Tomatoes here. So right now I'm just cooking up my shallots. Fish can keep on browning on that side, and that's okay. The browning of the fish will give the soup flavor. So I'll just leave it to do that while I cook the shallot on this side. Okay. And I'm just going to mix it all the way in to the middle here to get some color to the shallot. Okay, and all the tomatoes are going to go in. And all I'm going to do for the flavoring right now is I'm just going to add a tad of the fish sauce. Going to do a couple dashes. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. That's it. And a tad of sugar. Just about a teaspoon or so of sugar. So that is pretty much done. And now all I have to do is add a little bit of water and let this simmer into a broth that we're going to use for the fish noodle. There we go. Okay. So that, let me do this. Do a bowl first. There we go. That's really enough water there. And now I'm just going to bring this up to a boil and let it simmer to cook into a broth. And there we go. Okay. While this is cooking, I'm going to go over and show you how I fry the fish. So the fish that I had sliced off, or the meat that I had sliced off earlier, as you can remember, I'm going to fry it in this pan here. So it's really simple. So I got some of the fish meat here. All I'm going to do is add a bit of salt and pepper and sprinkle a little bit of cornstarch on it, and I'm going to fry in this pan here. Very simple. I'm going to grab a little bit of my cornstarch here. Not too much, just a dustle. About a tablespoon, I would have to say. That should be plenty. Use my tongs. Mix it all up nicely here. Mix to coat. Okay, that's all I really need. And now I'm just going to fry it. Okay, so in this pan here, I'm just going to turn on the heat. Add the oil. I've got some oils earlier. I'm just going to reuse some of the oil here. Don't need too much. There we go. So once that comes up to temperature, I'm just going to add in the fish to cook. And that's all it is to it. And this will be used together with the fish cake and the fish noodle. And I also have tons of the lettuce and herbs left to eat with the soup. Also going to be putting in a bit of dill, except my husband doesn't really care for dill, so I might skip the dill and just put in onions. Fish soup you need to have the dill. That's traditionally how we eat it, the Vietnamese. It's Vietnamese style fish. I can add a tad more cornstarch because it's a little bit wet. So maybe just another half tablespoon or so here. That should be so good. Just to get rid of all the wetness. And this also helps too when you're frying fish with flour, it won't splatter as much either. There we go. This is pretty much ready for me to fry. So once the oil comes up to temperature, I'm just going to add in this fish to fry, and that will be ready to eat tomorrow. Okay, you can also see that the soup is coming up to a boil. I'll show you. All I'm going to do is lower down the temperature and just let it simmer, because I want the broth to be really intense in flavor, especially with the fish. The fish broth is actually really easy to make, and it's really tasty as well. So how you can tell if the oil is ready is if you put in a little bit of flour. You can see it bubbling up, but because it's not ready, it's not doing it yet. So we'll just have to give it another minute or so. Just gonna let that come to a boil, and then we can lower the temperature down. Okay, I think that's pretty good here. I'm gonna try adding a fish. Yeah, see, it's not quite to temperature yet, so you don't hear the sizzle. But it's getting there. Thank you. Okay, looks like it's slowly coming up to temperature there. You can see it sizzling around the fish. I will add more in once I feel that it's come to temperature. Okay, I think it might be good now. Just starting. I give it another minute. It's just like okay, looks like the temperature is good now. I'm going to add the rest of the fish in to cook. And once it's cooked, I'm just going to take it out. So I'm just going to put that much in for now. So tomorrow I'm just going to take some paper towel and put it into a glass container. And put my fish in here after it's cooked. Fish fries really quickly, a couple minutes, maybe a sign if it's thick. If it's thinner, just a couple minutes, basically until it's golden. Get like fully golden unless you add some coloring like turmeric powder and some more batter. Right now I'm just doing a simple coating of cornstarch, so as long as you see that the fish is cooked, so oftentimes it's only a couple minutes and it's pretty much cooked because you know that some of the pieces are really thin, so I don't really need to wait until it's totally golden brown. I feel that pretty much when it's cooked here. I'm just going to take it out and drain it. It's going to go into my fish soup tomorrow. cook. There we go. This is pretty much all cooked. Comes out. This comes out. Pretty nice color. There we go. Fish noodle tomorrow. And you can see that my broth is also boiling, so I'm just going to lower the temperature down a bit here. So just to a simmer. These ones cook. Let's pick them up. That's it. Hey everyone, this is the continuation of my fish soup or fish noodle soup that I was gonna make. So I had in there the halibut. So today I just got the onions and dill. I'm just adding the onion dill on here because I'm filming myself, so I couldn't do the chopping and filming at the same time for everyone to see, but I wanted to show everyone. I'm also going to add in a little bit of this tamarind powder mix here. This tamarind is to add a little bit of tartness. Usually if we are in Asia or like Southeast Asia and Vietnam or like Thailand and stuff, they have fresh tamarind, and that's what we use to add in the tartness of the soup. But because we don't have it, I'm just using the mix. And of course, to season the broth, I'm just going to use simply a little bit of the chicken broth here and a little bit of the fish sauce and then the tamarind just to balance it out. I'll show everyone what it looks like. So to my soup, I'm just going to add probably a dash or so of the fish sauce there. Also gonna do some of the broth here. Probably a tablespoon or so. Just add it to there. Just waiting for it to come up to a boil and then I can finish seasoning the rest. I'm also going to add in just a tad of sugar as well, which I'll show you, and this sauce. I'm just going to put it down so I can cut the packaging open. Okay, so to the soup, I'm also going to add a tad of sugar as well, so I'll show you here. Probably just a small, about half a tablespoon it looks like. And then I have the tamarind powder that I've cut the corners here. And I'm just going to add in a little bit. I'll show you on my ladle here how much I'm going to be adding. If I can just flip the ladles over there. Not too much. Just a little bit for tartness. I would say about a teaspoon is plenty. That's probably about a teaspoon there. And that's it. Once this comes to a boil, I can add in my fish cake however I like. And that was it for the soup. You can taste for more seasoning. If you like it saltier, you can add more fish sauce or more of the chicken broth, but I like to eat it. If you're eating with noodle soup, I suggest you add a little more of the chicken broth, probably another half a tablespoon or so. But if you're just gonna eat it with rice, I think it's okay with just like this. So now all I do is I would just add the fish cake to this, and this will be my homemade fish soup. Okay, let me just show you. So this is the fried halibuts that I made earlier, and also this is the frozen fish cake that I have readily available always in my freezer, complimentary of course of my mom. So we always have this, and this is what we would add to our noodle soup. So I'm just gonna add it all in because we're having it, eating it with noodles, or if they want to eat with rice, they can eat with rice too. And this just all goes into here. So all I'm gonna do is, you can add it, you can eat it by itself on the outside too, but I just like to cook it all in because I like it to absorb the soup a little bit so it tastes better. And then the fish cake as well, I'm just gonna add in a couple. Let's see if I can peel it off here with one hand and show it. Okay, so there's one of the fish cakes that I added in. Here's another one. I'm just gonna add it in as well. And then this will just comprise of my fish noodle. Yay! I'm just gonna let this come up to a boil and simmer a little bit more because I want the fish cakes to basically puff up, warmed up and puff up again. Sorry, there's a halibut that I had. Just gonna put the rest of this in as well, the fish that I fried. There we go. There we go. Everything goes in. That's it. You can see my fish soup. Okay, now that the soup has come to a boil, also gonna do a seasoning test. I'm just gonna mix it up really well right now, and then I'm gonna give it a taste first to see if I need additional seasoning. And if I feel that it's good, then I don't need to add anything else. But if I feel it's a tad under, then I can always add more. It's better to under season first because you can always adjust it. I think it's got the right tartness. I think I'm just gonna add in a tad more fish sauce here, just to sparkle. And then just 1 little teaspoon of the chicken broth. Actually, not even half a teaspoon probably. And that should be good. The tartness is there, everything is good. Now just need to adjust the seasoning. Okay, now I'm just gonna put the lid back on so that it steams up the fish cake. And once the fish cake puffs up and it's ready, that's when we're gonna eat. There we go. For dinner tonight, I decided to serve it on a little hot pot burner like this so that my soup can stay hot. So right now I'm just gonna turn on the stove really quick. Put it on probably just medium low because it was boiling earlier. And serving it on a side of beautiful lettuce veggies here with herbs that I got from my mom's house. And a side of the vermicelli noodles and my lime chili fish sauce, dipping sauce here. And this is how we're gonna eat dinner tonight. Just over a little hot pot like this. Ooh, hot, hot. And that's what's for dinner. There's the fish cake. There's the pieces of fish. And there's other fishes in here in the soup. And enjoy, everyone. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed my recipe. Make sure you try it out for your family, and I hope you all enjoy eating. Have a great meal.
We scratched her.